Today I want to talk to you about instability. There's something wrong in a picture when we see the pattern repeat itself over and over. If you're going to be here in this life, you should be able to profit from this life, and your profit from this life should not be the robbery of others, but of your own work. But in a greater sense, I want to talk to you about instability because we haven't priced risk in our decision making. And this thing troubles me today because it's some things I want to share with you, and you might want to take some notes because it's a little heavy, and I hope I can do it in just a few minutes. But instability, something is wrong somewhere because we have not factored or priced risks into going forward. Let's talk about it on Coach's Corner. Welcome aboard. Are constantly, let's just put it this way, for those of you that read the Bible, a double-minded man is unstable. Let's get that out. Let's just get that out there for those of you that love to go to church or love the Bible and all that. But we're going to go deeper than that. But I just wanted to put that out there. If you got two minds, you can't go in two directions at the same time. So that's out there. Now, instability. Have we priced risk into our decisions? Now, the reason why I wanted to bring it up in this format, because it sounds like I'm an insurance guy or something, and I'm not. I'm not an investor yet. My father, I just found out in my early 40s that my father is well-to-do because he invested. I'm thinking to myself, you should be teaching us boys that, but that's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother topic. But instability. Let's just break down this risk thing. There is the acknowledgement. You know, the reason why a lot of people are unstable is because they won't acknowledge anything. They won't acknowledge anything. And so for risk to be managed, for risk to be transferred, integrated, for people to even invest in risk, for risk to be properly tolerated, for risk to be controlled, you got to acknowledge it. And so many people, and this is why I don't make this a religious program, because most church people are in denial. And that's a whole nother topic. Most church folk are in denial, psychosocially, in denial about their finances, in denial about their risk. Corporation, let me just take a step back. Let me take a step back because I'm a political rant. I shared this. The corporations in America do this 24/7. You want to know why the economy tanked? Look it up. Risk management was blown out of proportion, to the degree that risk investment went worldwide. This is called risk innovation, risk integration, or risk transfer. When what you do affects your hood and affects 10 countries, that's risk integration. Risk tolerance. What are you willing to bear? What are you willing to bear? I'm going to go over my time today. What are you willing to bear as being consequential for the risk that you acknowledge? Now, first we got to get you to acknowledge that in all of our lives, I have to acknowledge in all of our lives, whether you're married or whether you're single, okay, there's risk involved in both. Whether you're a parent or whether you're not, there's risk involved in both. whether you are self-employed or employed by an employer, have an employer, there's risk in both. Whether you go to church every Sunday or you choose to go once a month, or whether you have a ministry or whether or not you're a missionary, there are risks involved in every single thing that you do. So I don't understand why we're not pricing risk into our decisions. What do I mean? Well, first you got to break down the risk factors. And for instance, if you were to try to get some insurance on a Mustang and you're 24 years old or 22 years old, you're going to have higher risk factors and a greater price to pay insurance-wise for a Mustang, which also is a sports car, which is like a disaster. But the well-to-do kids do it all the time because they're riding on someone else's insurance. Come on now, I need some help right there. I need some help right there. While you're envious and jealous of somebody else, you might want to check their name might not even be on what they got. This is called their parents is willing to, these well-to-do parents are willing to have a greater tolerance of risk, or a greater, they transfer the risk to themselves. Man, I wish y'all know that we can go, but I don't know what y'all can tolerate because you don't comment on anything. I don't know what you can handle, so I try to keep it light. But we have to factor in risk. We have to price risk in our decision making. We have to price it. What will it cost me to do this? If I keep going this way, what will it not only cost me now? So let's just say, for instance, you have a level of acknowledgement. We don't really have that level, and I want to go deeper with that, but we don't have that level of acknowledgement. That's our problem right there. We don't acknowledge anything. If you're constantly destitute, if you're constantly unstable, if you're constantly dealing with the same problem over and over and over, that means you are in denial. You are in denial. You can placate it with scriptural religious duty. You can placate it with agreement. You can do all of those things. But you have to acknowledge that in every facet of life, including investments, including things right and things wrong, there is a level of risk. So now, since we have played that card, we played the card, we played this acknowledgement card, because a lot of you are not acknowledging anything. You're in denial. That's why you run with her and him, because they are contributing to your denial. They're contributing to it. But let's say you acknowledge it, and we're going to all acknowledge it right now. I acknowledge that there is risk in everything that I do. And I am asking myself the question, am I willing to bear the consequences that my risk will bring? Guaranteed to bring. Guaranteed to bring. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. It's guaranteed to bring consequences no matter what. Sometimes it's a catch-22 consequence. The point is, acknowledge, as T.D. Jakes said one time, acknowledge that life happens and risk management is appropriate for life. And quit tripping and trying to hide, duck, go in the back in the dark and act like you ain't got no issues. And act like if you just say Jesus, everything is going to be fixed. And act like if you just get, I just was reading a post on Facebook, if you get some deliverance, everything is going to be okay. It's not. I knew a deliverance minister. Let's just side note that. I knew a deliverance minister who was top of the game. I'm going to tell you one of his best friends, Win Worley. Look up the name, WINWORLEY. Win Worley was one of the best deliverance ministers in America. And this guy was friends with a few other people. But that case aside, I went to him with some ideas about some things that I wanted to do, and he shut me down. And that's when I knew it was time for me to move to Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta 2 or 3 years, and guess what? This top-notch deliverance minister who gave all these deliverance principles were brought up on charges for child molestation and had to give up his church, of which was debt-free, by the way. So don't come to step to me with all of this religious jargon and religious principle, because people still matter. And we have to realize and accept that risk is involved in everything we do. So now whether we're acknowledging it or not is another issue. That puts you on the immature side if you're not acknowledging risk. But if you're on the management side of risk, you've got to understand that it's not just you anymore. It's not just you. That's your risk integration right there. What you do has affected me. What I do has affected you. We're transferring all kinds of consequences. We're doing cross transfer. There are some of you out there that are investing in consequential behavior. You're investing in it. You're saluting it. You're signing off on it. And there are others of you that are tolerating it. It's okay. It's okay to call bitches and hoes. Let's call it like a TI is, okay? It's okay to go sleep with 5 guys and your daughter's in the other room. It's okay to go ahead and walk with your pants not only hanging down, I could get the hanging down part, but the belt tied around your butt cheeks and having your ass hanging out. It's okay. And some of y'all signing off on this kind of behavior, which does not just affect one, but it affects others. We're a global economy now. We're a global social culture now. And we've got to start pricing risk. And those of you that are responsible, those of you that are parents, those of you that are in authority, those of you that know better regarding anything, you got to set the example. You got to speak up, speak out, speak on the issues that are going to affect everybody anyway. So if you guys if you don't like to coach, it's cool, because I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And it's hard on me. It's hard on me because all of you guys are listening, you're listening, and you never comment. You never share. You don't think the coach needs anything, or just because he's called the life coach, he doesn't need anything. He's set. He's got enough money. He's got enough support. He don't need no encouragement. That's a bunch of crap. I'm managing risk like you're managing risk. But the difference is my job is to get you to the finish line. And listen, your risk factors, if you want to get some insurance, would be your geo, where you're located, where are you located, psychologically, where are you located? I'm just asking you. Risk factors, your credit, how do you pay your bills? What are the patterns of your responsibility? Employment, do you stay hired anywhere long enough to get anything done? And then what about your legal run-ins with the law? These are called risk factors that an insurance company would look at before they give you a rate. I'm out of time. I went over my time. Y'all follow me on Spreaker, Twitter. Give me some feedback, whatever the case may be. Coach is out.